Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Now, statistics normally are used to put a point, to prove a point. The interesting part of it is normally not all statistics exactly show what the reality is. I will try and tell you what I mean by that. You see, our unemployment rate has fallen a 6 years low to 3.2% in the fiscal year 2022-23. 3.2% all India. Now, which means that our unemployment has come down, which is fabulous. The unemployment rate has come down, which is fabulous, like I said. But is that the situation? Let's talk about it. Let's get right into the show. Now, according to Periodic Labour Force Survey, PLFS, the urban unemployment rate is 6.6, the rural unemployment rate is 2.4, and therefore the all India unemployment rate is 3.2, which has been the least since 2017-18. So 2017-18, 2018-19, 2019-20, 2020-21, 2020-22, 2020-23 has been the lowest, which is at 3.2%. Is this a good sign? Of course, it's a good sign. But does that mean that, our unemployment problem is getting over? And there, the answer is no. The answer is no. Now, let me take you to the next slide. In the next slide, I talk to you about self-employment. Now, self-employment in 2017-18 has been 38.6%. People who have borrowed, invested, taken money from parental monies, whatever, and started a business on their own has been 38.6% in 2017. And in 2022-2023, the percentage has been 39%. 38.6% in 2017-18 and 39% in 2022-23. Around 4%, 0.4% increase in self-employment. So, one may ask, so kya hua? What of it? It's only 0.4% increase in self-employment, which means that people are getting employment. Now, there's a problem. The problem is, in 2017, the unpaid helper in a household enterprise has been 13.6%, whereas unpaid helper in a household enterprise in 2022-23 has been 18.3%. There has been a 5% increase. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by that. You see, out of the 39% of people who are supposed to be on their own, self-employed, almost 18.3% are people who are sitting in their family enterprise, which means Pitaji ka dukan, they are sitting in their family enterprise and are not paid. Not paid. The problem for the economy is that chances are that they are not contributing positively to the revenue of the enterprise which they are sitting in and working, and the fact that since they are not getting money, they are not getting paid, they are not increasing the demand also in the economy. So technically what is happening is neither are they helping their company, their household enterprise to grow, because it's not that they are coming and contributing something drastic to the enterprise which is increasing the revenue of the enterprise. That is one. Secondly, they are not being paid. They are not being paid, which means that they themselves are not helping the economy because they are not creating demand. They are not able to buy. They are not able to create demand. So it is not helping the economy. In a form, this is what we called as disguised employment. Disguised employment. So when you are talking about unemployment figures coming down, yeah, the figures are coming down, but 18.3% of them who claim to be self-employed are not self-employed. They are just sitting in the dukan without any money, without any salary. Chances are they may not even be contributing to the increase of the revenue, increase of the GDP. So this is the point that one needs to understand. Like I said, it is the way you read statistics. This is point number 1. Now let me go into point number 2. You see, I am always for simple solutions. But technically, at times, simple solutions may be theoretically sounding right. It sounds right theoretically. But practically, simple solution may not be the answer, may not be the real solution. In fact, it may be to the contrary. I will tell you what I mean by that. Our Prime Minister once had said that, listen, you know what? If you are not getting a job, you can go and make bhajiyas. You can start selling bhajiyas. You can start selling pakoras in your area and you can earn for yourself. Well, a simple solution. But is that a prudent solution? Let me tell you what I mean by this. You see, business is a skill set. Employment is a skill set. A good welder or a good turner fitter may not necessarily be a great workshop owner. You see, running a workshop, a fabrication shop, has to have a different skill sets. And being a fantastic welder in that fabrication shop needs to have a different skill sets. Now, what happens if you push the welder to start his own workshop? This welder may go out and take a loan. Now, one talks about mudra loan and e-mudra loan and all of that. It is not all that easy to get these mudra loans. While they say that mudra loans this year has been at its highest, they have paid close to 4.46 lakhs in financial year 2023 disbursed through mudra loans. All that is fine, but see, it is not easy for a normal man, especially a youth, to go and get mudra loan unless and until he mortgages something with the bank. Now, let me tell you, a young man, a young welder, who is a fabulous welder like I told you before, if he tries to set up his own factory or own workshop, what happens is he goes and he takes loan. More often than not, these loans are taken from private enterprises, private financial institutions, NBFCs or banks. What happens then? At a very early age, he takes this loan and he is burdened with this loan. Now, if he does well, which is fine, but if it doesn't, if his business doesn't take off, at that early age of that person's life, he is loan-ridden. He is loan-ridden. The age in which he has to run fast and go ahead in his career without any baggages, this young man is loan-ridden. He's got the burden of the loan. Chances are he may not be able to pay back his loan, and whatever he inherits or whatever he has, chances are he may lose that too. The larger impact to the nation is, that is how we create bad debts. When a person who is not good enough to do business, who does not have the skill sets to do business, when he or she is forced to do business, and to do that business they take money, and when they are not able to repay, you have bad debts. So both ways it is not right. So the fact is that merely saying that if you don't get an employment, you start your business sounds good. Sounds good. Simple solution. But it may not be a prudent solution. That's the point 2 that I wanted to make in this editorial. Now, the point 3. You see, the problem I have is most of the decisions we take are not very planned decisions. Not very planned decisions. I will tell you why I say this. You see, in our country, maximum employment is generated by agricultural industry, agricultural sector. Agricultural sector is 46% of our employment. 46% of our employment in our country are generated by agricultural sector. Now let's talk about agricultural sector for 2 minutes. You see, we have been talking about Make in India. We have been talking about, Digital India. We have been talking about a lot of things. We have been promoting digital. We have been promoting manufacturing. We have been promoting a lot. How much have you heard about agriculture? Except for the farm bills that we heard, and we know what happened to that. Except for that, what have we heard about agriculture? How many programs have we as a country run to ensure that there is a lot more technology used in agriculture, like the way Israel uses? How many programs have we done to ensure that there is R&D in agriculture? We do research and development in agriculture. How many times have we seen where there are opportunities, trade seminars, trade promotion centers made for agricultural products, to market our agricultural products? What have we done for that? What have we done for that across the globe, where we say that let us sell our sugar, let us sell our tomatoes, let us sell our potatoes, let us sell our cashew nuts? What kind of trade activities are we doing? What kind of trade promotions are we doing so that we increase this industries, which is already giving 46% of employment for our people? We increase this industry so that it can give much more. It can earn much more. First of all, forget about this. Are we even viewing agriculture as an industry? Are we even viewing agriculture as an industry? You see, this concept of Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan and all that sounds very right. But the two people who are suffering today are the Jawans and the Kisans. You see, all this sounds right. The point that I'm trying to make is, if you give a stature of an industry, ensure that the country as a whole starts investing in that industry. You develop R&D, you develop technology, you ensure that this agricultural products are marketed across the globe. Indian agricultural products are marketed across the globe. Our spices are one of the best. Our rice, basmati, is world famous. These kinds of brands are created from India and we market it more. Chances are this particular sector will grow. Have we done that? Because then that's a plan. That's a difficult plan, but that's a plan. And then we say that I'm going to grow my agriculture sector where I'm giving 46% employment, that I will try and make it to 65% employment. Plan. Fantastic plan. Your second sector is construction. You see, unfortunately, construction sector in India is actually unorganized. It is actually unorganized and one of the most corrupt sectors. They look down on builders, but it is not the builder's fault. The environment is such. The environment is such that for everything that builder has to pay bribes. The environment is such. One of the most corrupt sectors in this country. The point that I am trying to make with all this is, somewhere down the line, we don't see ourselves promoting employment, having a thought process, a planned process to ensure that employment goes up. So that therefore, then when we say by 2026, 2028, our unemployment rate will come down to 1%, 2%, then it makes sense because it's a planned analysis. Other than saying that, listen, काम नहीं है तो भजिया तलो. That may not be the right thing that we do. Trade and hotels are 12% of employment. Manufacturing is 11% and others are 18% of employment generation of sectors that give employment to India, especially the Indian youth. So this is broadly what I wanted to share with you. Employment or showing figures that unemployment has come down, just mere figures won't help. By giving, tabletop ideas that, you see, pakode tolo if you don't get a job. These are not necessarily ideas that will work. I think as a country, we need to sit down. This is for our youth. We need to sit down. We need to ensure that we plan for our youth. We should ensure that we don't burden them with debts. We should ensure that we give them a clear pathway to take off their careers and make them grow and make them happen. This is the point that I wanted to make and that's my today's editorial. Till I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Namaskar.